Okay.
Hello, ghouls and boils, and welcome to the dungeon of She Never Slept. That's right, Grand Central, where everything happens. And with us today is Count Succula. And as always, of course, the great Cthulhu. And I am in my Cthulhu slippers, so it looks like we're ready to go. As you've probably noticed, my absence of late on She Never Slept is because I have this wonderful cast on my dominant hand, which actually I have to redone tomorrow, so who knows how long that's going to be on. And speaking of which, I do want to thank our assistant editor Floyd for all of his hard work and putting all the extra time in getting up postings by minions and putting up columns. I could never get through this without him, so thanks again, Floyd. I know I thank you all the time, but I just can't thank you enough. Today we're going to be doing my column, Digging Through the Bins, but before that I have a little bit of news. We are going to be reviewing this new book by Trent Zelazny, To Sleep Gently. It is now available in ebook, which is why I have it on my sort of trusted Kindle here. But it will be out in paperback as well, and we will certainly let you know when that happens. I'm really digging it so far, so hopefully the review will be up, fingers crossed, by the weekend. Whether that'll be a video review or an audio review, I'm not sure yet. It'll be a surprise to all of us. My second piece of news is that I have volunteered with the Inkwell Awards, which happen down here in North Carolina at Heroes Con every year. I like to think of the Inkwell Awards as the Banky Awards, and if you don't get that, then you need to start watching your Kevin Smith again. Bad. The Inkwell Awards are for what I like to think of as sort of like the unsung hero, the people that most get overlooked in comics. If you're a comic geek, you already know what an inker does. If not, I will put up some links as to what an inker does and what the Inkwell Awards are all about. I'm happy to be helping them. I will be taking care of their social networking sort of things, and I'll be a standby sort of techie, geeky person to help out with anything on the website if need be. So that's it. It's going to be a fun and exciting new thing for me to step into. So, okay, today we're going to talk, again, like I said, Digging Through the Bins. Digging Through the Bins is my column where we go into some older comics. Hopefully in the future what I'll be doing is actually going to places and digging through their bins. Right now I'm digging through my bins, and we'll be talking about genre comics. I'm going to talk about one of my favorites by probably my favorite comic artist, Sam Keith. This is a book called Ojo. And Ojo came out, it was a small run, it came out by Oni Press, done in 5 issues. Sadly I only have 3 of the singles. They have really awesome covers. I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see because these are dark, but they're just absolutely fabulous. Sam Keith, of course, is the main writer. He's one of the artists, but he also works with Alex Pardee and Chris Wisnia as the other artists in the book. What I like about it is, while each of the artists have their own style, they all sort of fit together in this sort of gritty sort of way. Ojo is the story of a little girl who has recently lost her mother, and she tries to collect some pets and doesn't have much luck with them until one day she meets this strange pet in a drain pipe. It doesn't seem to survive very well until she feeds its mother. Well, as most of you know, anything with eyeballs and tentacles is absolutely just for me. I can't speak enough about how well this is done. and how much he got into these small panels. I mean, they're even smaller in the graphic novel format, which is, of course, easier to get. But as you can see, let's get issue 1 up here. His panels are full. They're just full of text and art and little tiny things. I mean, you really have to pay attention when you're reading a Sam Kieth book, because he goes crazy with it. And when I first started reading it, I thought it was pronounced Oyo, like the Spanish word for eye. But I did hear Sam Kieth talk, and since it's his book, he did call it Ojo, so that's what we're going to call it, Ojo. I don't want to give too much away about this book because it's so interesting how things wind up, but I will say that it is a good adventure. I'd have to say, you know, I would put this probably next to the max as far as my favorite things that Sam Kieth has ever done. It's an interesting story about a young, like I said, a young girl, but it's actually about her and her sister, who are spending some time with their grandfather after the death, and you go through the grieving process. Pretty much, let's see what Oni Press had to say about it. They say, Annie has terrible luck with pets. She's killed hamsters and mice and lizards and birds. For a domesticated animal, getting Annie as an owner is akin to a death sentence. But when Annie finds a little beastie in a drain pipe named Ojo, has her karma really changed, or is she destined for more disappointment? Ojo is the latest work from comics author Sam Kieth from the Max and For Women. Joining Kieth on this artistic journey are fellow artists Alex Pardee and Chris Wisnia. Blending styles seamlessly, yeah, just as I said. The three have created a haunting and touching tale of loss and life. You know, I think that pretty much sums it up. What I have to say is be prepared for an odd journey. Of course, you could say that about any Sam Kieth book that you pick up, but this is a gem. This is, if you haven't read much by Oni Press, I also want to say that I highly recommend Oni Press. They're a small indie publisher out of Portland, Oregon, and they just put out the most fantastic stuff. I really enjoy all their books. A lot of them are black and white only, but that's okay. I think that you know, I'm an ink and line girl. I love, you know, the black and white and the stark contrast and things that you can get from that don't necessarily come through in color. But for the color hounds, all the covers are done in color. I just, you know, on a scale of 1 to 5 tentacles, I obviously, this is, without even thinking, unquestionably a 5 tentacle book. It is pretty inexpensive in the graphic novel format. It was $15 when it first came out, but I believe you can find it on Amazon for considerably less at this point. I am still trying to desperately seek issues 4 and 5, so if anyone knows where the singles are, let me know so I can, it's the completest in me, I'd like to have all of them. But yeah, that's about it for today's digging through the bins, and I'm sure that seemed a lot shorter than what my writing would be looking like on the page, but that's that, and hey, thanks for tuning in, and we will talk again soon in one form or another, and thanks so much for being patient with me as I go through this lovely casting. Goodbye!